Get your bikes ready because Portland Sunday Parkways is coming to East Portland. Presented by Kaiser Permanente from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday, June 28th, you can explore parks and neighborhoods filled with vendors, community booths, family-friendly activities, all free and while riding your bike. The 4-mile route will feature several parks, including, for the very first time, Verdell, Burdine, Rutherford Park. For more details and route info, go to portland.gov/Sunday-Parkways. That's portland.gov/Sunday-Parkways. Here's to Oregon businesses, to making things here and serving our neighbors. SAFE, that's SAIF, is on your side whether you're a plumber in Portland, a builder in Bend, or a roaster in Roseburg. They're a nonprofit that for over 100 years have provided safety resources to avoid injuries at your job. Their workers' comp that really works. Learn more at SAIF.com. That's SAIF.com. Today on CityCast Portland, we're talking about a homeless services provider on the verge of closing, still owing Multnomah County millions of dollars, and Mayor Keith Wilson's home sharing pilot program that's paying Portland homeowners to take on roommates is surprisingly not popular. Plus, we're exploring Portlanders' plentiful online crepes and weighing in on their validity. With me are Cable News Director Althea Billings and our very own executive producer, John Atariani. Welcome, you guys. So good to have you both on the show. How's it going?
Hey, good morning, Claudia.
Hey, glad to be here.
So glad to have you both on. As you both know, I usually kick things off with an opening question so our listeners can get to know our guests a little better. And today's is based on some Willamette Week reporting, checking in on Mayor Keith Wilson's novel pilot program, where the city was offering to pay $1,000, a one-time grant to Portland homeowners who list spare bedrooms for rent on particular platforms, including the Atlanta-based PadSplit. Now, basically, paying homeowners to take on roommates to alleviate our city's lack of affordable housing. It's not working. Now, we've talked about this program on the show previously, 4 months ago when it launched, and since then, the city has received a whopping 5 applications. Mind you, when the program launched back in February, Mayor Wilson said it could be, and this is a quote here, one of the fastest and most cost-effective ways we've ever provided housing to Portlanders, and that it would remove barriers and unlock housing for renters in need of affordable rooms. This was, of course, just one piece of his larger acting plan to end unsheltered homelessness by the end of last year, which, depending on who you speak to, either did or did not happen. But to the mayor's credit, he was able to get a record number of overnight shelter beds online with varying success in occupancy. So there is that. But here are some reasons why this program might not be enticing folks. For one, why would anyone take on a roommate if you could afford not to? Having roommates usually sucks. We all know this. Even when you're married to them, that's what I'm told. But also the program requires that a homeowner must rent their room for $200 or less per week. So $800 a month max for at least 30 days before it's eligible for that one-time city grant of $1,000 for the first room and then $500 for each additional room. The program also dictates that the homeowner must keep the room available for rent for at least 12 months. And mind you, that like $200 per week or $800 max a month would include all utilities and fees. So that's like all the electricity and the Wi-Fi and all that. So the mayor's administration is not losing hope, saying the program can still catch on. But we're nearly halfway through the year with only 5 applicants. So I'm personally curious how much better it does. I mean, maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe it's a lack of marketing. I don't know.
Don't be such a pessimist. They could hit double digits.
It could be 10 by the end of the year.
We've
10
housed
of people.
several people through this program.
Yeah. I was thinking they'd at least get 20, honestly, because it's not like a terrible idea to incentivize people to list available rooms for rent. But perhaps the mayor overestimated how desperate homeowners are to lower living costs in exchange for like a whole ass stranger living in their room at a very, very low price. So PadSplit, the private home sharing listing platform company that Mayor Wilson seems to have partnered with, is used successfully in over 20 cities nationwide, including LA, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta, where the company is based. Sophie Peel, who was the Willamette Week reporter who looked into our city's partnership with PatSplit, noted that the mayor's idea to start paying Portland homeowners to use that, list their available rooms on the app and all that, came after a trip he made to Atlanta where he met with the founders of PatSplit. So all this leads to my opening question. What idea have you had in your personal life that you thought for sure was going to be a banger, but ended up not really going anywhere? And it doesn't have to be as high stakes as our mayor's PatSplit idea.
Yeah, I mean, even if this program ends up being a flop, shout out to the mayor for coming up with new and innovative ideas and trying stuff. Of course, the downside is sometimes it doesn't work out.
Exactly.
But I think that my big idea honestly had a lot less upside than what the mayor has proposed. And in retrospect, it's like, yeah, I can see why this was a bad idea. Okay. Several years ago, a beautiful spring day, I'm sitting at the By and By with a friend having a frozen slushy cocktail. And it's refreshing and I feel super alive. And we say, hey, why don't we walk down Alberta Street and just get slushy cocktails at all the bars that serve them along the way? I'm thinking we're going to have a nice walk. Like, how many bars could there be that serve frozen drinks along Alberta Street? Like 2, maybe 3? No, there was a lot of bars that sold frozen drinks.
Oh my God.
We made it like probably a mile and had like 3 frozen cocktails in us and had us headache and like a sugar high and felt so awful. And it was 1 in the afternoon and it was a bad idea. So don't do that.
I love the dedication to it, though, that even after like the second one, you're like, oh, there's more. Like, I can't. 2 is max,
I think we made it from like By and By to like Dottie Vegas. It was literally like we walked like 100 feet and we're like, wait a minute. Far. This is not a good idea.
It's like 3 blocks. Okay. Althea, what about you?
Yeah. In some of my union organizing work, at one point during the pandemic, when we were renegotiating our contract, we really wanted raises. And the old contract had carve-outs for specific jobs, and we didn't want to relitigate all of that. So instead of like figuring that out, I came up with a brilliant idea and I called it Step X, which also in retrospect, I kind of gave it an evil name. And I was like, we'll just put it all in Step X and we'll just deal with Step X on its own and then like kick the can down the road, but like Step X. I was like, guys, it's a brilliant idea. And everybody at the time, this would have been like 2020, 2021, was like, yeah, Step X, love it. I spent like the next 3 years fighting to undo Step X because it was very inequitable and made no sense. Like I made my own life a living hell. So like anytime I come up with ideas and I'm pitching my union folks on it or anybody else, I'm like, just tell me if this is Step X. Like, tell me now. Don't and don't entertain it. Like we need to have a little bit more foresight because it was so hard to get out of that. And I gave it an evil name.
That it became the name for all future bad ideas is quite the feat for a terrible idea. Well, you know what, guys? At least you both tried. Thank you both for your answers. You know what I love? That moment of optimism when you have the idea and you're like, yeah, I live for that.
This is going to solve everything. Yeah. Why has nobody thought of this?
And then you learn why.
Yeah. Before we take a quick break, I wanted to remind everyone that we are going to be hanging out at Dear Sandy today from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then all week long, the first 50 people get a free coffee on us. You can also pick up our new CityCast Portland bumper sticker all this week for free at Dear Sandy. But today is our only meet and greet, so I'll be there along with the rest of the gang. Minus Julia, who is sadly on vacation, and even sadder, Dear Sandy is one of her favorite places to hang out. And I feel like we did this on purpose somehow. I feel bad. I feel like this was kind of mean of us. And if you're a CityCast Portland neighbor, we actually have a cool diner style mug for you. So come pick it up. So hopefully see you all at Dear Sandy today, which is again on Northeast Sandy in the Kearns neighborhood. All right.
Yeah, come see us.
Okay, well, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, how a collapsing homelessness service provider could possibly owe the county millions. Grand Central Bakery wants to wish you all a happy Pride and is once again showing up, celebrating, and giving back directly to the community. All this week, June 22nd through the 28th, Grand Central is donating $1 from every bag sold of their Rainbow Pride and Trans Pride shortbread cookies to the Q Center. The Q Center is an amazing organization that provides safe space and community building for the LGBTQ2SIA+ communities and allies here in the Pacific Northwest, and have been doing so for over 2 decades. And on Sunday, June 28th, Grand Central Bakery is donating 10% of the entire day's cafe sales. So every single purchase counts. Every loaf of Como bread, every jammer, every turkey chutney sandwich, every dirty gold latte, you can help out by purchasing online at grandcentralbakery.com or in person at any of their 8 neighborhood locations. All right. Althea, you looked into Sunstone, which is unfortunately one of the county's contractors that was providing homelessness services, and they're not doing so well.
No, Sunstone way out of line on what they're charging the county for.
Boo.
Okay, you guys didn't like that one. No, it's fine. I didn't write it down. It came up off the dome. Okay. But yes.
Did you just get booed?
I got booed. Real time.
No, I was booing Sunstone, not you, Althea.
Wow, John hates puns. This is not the right podcast for me.
Real step X of a pun there, man.
Sunstone on its way. Okay, all right. I'm not going to repeat it.
Anyway. Try it again.
On Thursday evening, the new head of the Homeless Services Department at Multnomah County sends this long email thread to all the media partners in Multnomah County. One of them comes in at 10:30 p.m., basically alerting people ahead of the holiday weekend that Multnomah County, through some auditing, figured out that Sunstone Way, which is ending being a business or being a nonprofit at the end of the month, overcharged the county something like $3.6 million in unallowable expenses, something that County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson is calling egregious. Everybody's freaking out about this. There's some things that when you're a contractor, you're supposed to charge the county for. There's some things that you're not supposed to charge the county for. And through their looking into this, they found actually years of contract violations with what they were charging for. Some of it is in the realm of what homeless service providers do. They were giving an advance payment to one of their meal providers, possibly paying them for more meals than were actually served at the places that they operate. But they also spent over $100K on personal and entertainment expenses, like taking the staff to Pettiest and to Topgolf. They spent bank on a former executive officer's new consulting firm.
What?
And my question is, why is golf always at the scene of the crime?
Why is it always Topgolf?
In Topgolf's defense, it's not really golf, but okay, go on. Sorry. I didn't think I was going to be the Topgolf defender.
I put you in a tough spot. That's fair. When is Topgolf an allowable taxpayer expense? That might even be too big of a question for us. But basically, the new head of the Homeless Services Department, Nathaniel Vergao, says that this is an isolated case, likely because of staff turnover, meaning that there was gaps in the oversight that they were actually doing at Sunstone Way. And so now we're in this situation where the county is going to try to recoup maybe half of those costs before, they are set to shutter at the end of the month.
Yeah, they're going out of business.
They are going out of business.
And on the idea that it's an isolated incident, how isolated is it? Wasn't there a situation back in 2022 when they overbilled the county by $500,000? That doesn't feel very isolated to me.
Yeah.
This is the same company that we know had been identified as a quote high risk contractor back then. So it's egregious, but anyone who's surprised, we already knew that there was trouble with this organization.
Yeah. And that's kind of the crux of Commissioner Julia Brim-Edwards' critique of the chair and of this whole situation. KGW's Jamie Parfit had a whole story about this where, we knew this was the case and look at the situation that we're in now. And, there's this question of how much do county leaders have to answer for this kind of thing? And I think that if they knew that shit was shady in 2022. Then come, February, right? Part of this history is that in February, there was a former employee who sued, basically saying, like, I was fired because I was worried about financial mismanagement. Within weeks, Sunstone Way says, we're shuttering. We don't have enough money.
Oh, wow.
We have to be done by the end of June.
Yeah, I mean, and if an organization like this is, I mean, I don't know the intricacies here, but like if an organization is shuttering, like, is this money even recoupable? Or can they just go, sorry, we don't exist anymore. Sorry, county. And then walk
like
away with their
bankruptcy,
top
right?
golf clubs on their back.
Again, you guys, it's like not golf. You don't bring in your own clubs. Whatever. Just continue.
Okay, just is that distinction, does it matter as to whether or not you should spend the taxpayer's dollar on it? That's what I want to know.
I'm just saying, if you're going to shit on Top Golf, like, get it right.
Somebody has to stick up for golf, and Claudia's here.
It's not golf. You're hitting a ball into like a net, whatever. No, of course not. Of course, no. It shouldn't public fund. There should be no taxpayer money for random people to go to Top Golf just for funsies. No, I don't think that's a good use of our funding. Back to the story that
please,
actually matters. I'm curious about the bankruptcy filing. Like, if it is, because, once you file for bankruptcy or whatever, your creditors cannot like come after you. And so I'm curious if it's something like that, or if, like, what's going on.
The county parsed it out where, because all of these like different expenses that I talked about of like that are not allowable by their billing standards, that the county or even federal contractor regulations that they're not supposed to be billing for, there's still some subsections that they're like, we're not even going to try to get that back, basically. So it's going to amount to about half the cost. This email that was forwarded to everybody on Thursday night, Chair Vega Peterson is saying, we're going to try to meet with Sunstone Way early next week. That's a great time to meet with them. They only exist for another week to see how much they might be able to get back.
Oh, my God.
But like you're saying, Claudia, I don't know if it's a bankruptcy filing or just like we got enough in the tank to make it to the end of June and we got to give it up. But it's a tough situation. Another thing that it was making me think about, I feel that I have unfortunately become a little bit desensitized to the idea of millions of dollars being missing.
That's not good.
It's not good at all. It's really bad.
Sad but true. Yeah. I did also have a moment of like, okay, like we're talking about $3.6 million. Like, how does that add up to the money at play here? Well, pretty significantly, because the bigger picture is the county has announced that the Homeless Services Department has a $67 million budget gap. Yeah. And they just passed a new budget that is going to have deep cuts into homeless services in the county, including closing an estimated 600 homeless beds. So that $3.6 million is sorely, sorely needed. And the fact that there was an oversight of mismanagement that allowed it to just scoot out the door is doubly upsetting.
It also makes me wonder how much other oversight is needed for other contractors. I'm not saying, hey, because of Sunstone, every homeless service provider contractor is, going to Topgolf. But I'm curious now because I'm like, well, if they were allowed to do that under the county supervision, what's going on? Because clearly,
maybe Claudia, you need to go to Topgolf and do a little bit of undercover reporting. Just like, just be like, so what do you do for a living?
This is sounding pretty good. I'm loving this.
As you're hitting your swings.
This is really good.
Well, you're a contractor for the county? For Multnomah County? Get out of town. What department?
That's where they hang out.
So who's going to pay for that, John? See, we're back to it.
Okay, no. Here's what we do. We enter the mayor's program. Who's got a house? Anybody in here got a house?
I don't.
With that extra $1,000, we'll go to Topgolf.
Oh, okay.
Brilliant.
I love
like
this.
A 4-month
this
process.
Is such a good idea.
Thanks. I think so
I'm
too.
sensing a step X. I'm sensing a real step X, Althea.
I also just gave you a way to burn me at any time. You just tell me, this is seeming a little step X, Althea.
So sorry you did.
I did. I should have thought it through. I want to say one other thing, because obviously there's like a transparency restitution trying to get this money back from the county. There is also, according to KGW's reporting, going to be a required financial compliance training for all the homeless service department contractors that has to happen before the new contracting period starts. So I think within the next couple of weeks, they're going to try to go through everybody and be like, maybe you were being a little shady before and maybe we didn't say anything, but here's how you need to be doing all of this as of right this very second.
That's good. I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're saying, please don't waste millions of dollars of taxpayer money. That is now against the rules.
Oh,
Starting now?
Starting
No golf.
now.
no. Yeah.
Pickleball only.
Okay. Althea, thank you for looking into this. But let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, John has got something for us. Let's just put it that way.
Can't wait to see what it is.
Okay, John, you just mined into the depths of Reddit. Yeah. Please explain what's going on now, please.
So
Yes, thank you.
I decided that it might be time to bring up a couple philosophical, ethical quandaries for us all to chew on. This is sort of in the spirit of anybody who's been on Reddit, you might know the "Am I the asshole?" thread, where people put out a situation and you decide whether or not that person is indeed an asshole. Well, in that sort of spirit, I went onto the weekly rant thread in Portland Reddit and pulled a number of situations that fellow Portlanders had pointed out that I will present to you for us to discuss who is at fault in this scenario. So that's the framing. The first one comes from Black Magic Woman on Reddit. And anybody who hasn't seen this, all of these are in caps. Black Magic Woman says, "No one wants to listen to your music at the park, the trail, the waterfront. Shut the fuck up." And then ex Xaviera comes in and says, "Or on the fucking bus." So I ask you, is it ever acceptable to play music out in public in Portland?
Althea, can I jump in here real quick? Here's some examples. On the bus, hell no, it's too small. In the park, it depends how localized it is, because I find it very charming walking from picnic to picnic and sensing a different vibe. But that's just me, But like, I just think it's one of those, like, be respectful on a hike. I also think that's not respectful, because people go to nature to like find quiet, to recenter. And so like hearing Drake, out while you're hiking is probs not the best way to share that space with other people. So I just think it's like being cognizant of your space.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think park, I can get with it. Definitely not on a trail. I think that music while hiking is like the ultimate sin. Like, no. Put your headphones in.
Exactly.
I'm aligned, I think, with you guys. No on the bus. It's a confined space and you can't opt out. At a park or at the beach, you can go further away. I think if you are somebody who's bringing an amp to the public place, and maybe they're listening to this podcast, I think you have to be aware of how crowded things are. Like, there's a volume level that, like, when you're alone or like when there's really nobody hanging out, that's like, it's really not going to be bothersome to people, but it's so hot. We're all crammed together at the beach or whatever. You got to turn that down. I think you also have to have like the openness of spirit, that if somebody's like, "Hey, could you turn that down? Could you turn that down a little bit? It's getting really loud at the river." I think that's the way to go. But I don't know if it's a never ever kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty aligned on that.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
So
I also love it when people ride their bike and they have music. I like that too. Like a little
Yeah, the
drive-by.
Doppler effect.
Yeah, that is like...
I love it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, go on.
yeah. Speaking of cyclists, I think that this one is going to be an immediate agreement, but I just want to put it out there. This is from the She. "Can cyclists at least please look before they decide to hawk a loogie or blow their nose into the air so I don't have to wipe that plague shit off my face? Fucking gross."
What? Who's doing that?
Apparently this is something that happened on a Portland road within the last 7 days, and the She is very understandably upset about it.
I'd rather get shit on by a bird. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, same here. I'd rather get shit on a bird.
And it was a drive-by. You can't even be like, what the hell? They're
Yeah.
gone. They're playing Drake loud.
A human mouth versus a bird shit. Yeah, totally. No, agreed, Althea. I'd rather get shit on by a bird, or literally pooped on by my own dog, than like have a human spit a loogie in my face. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ew.
I think the ultimate upsetting part here is that like the offender will probably never know that this happened. You know, the person
so
who
rude.
from whence the loogie came will probably never find out the pain that they caused another cyclist.
You should be spitting out your car window like that. You are the asshole. I'm sorry. I know that person didn't write in, but I just want you to know that if you're willy-nilly spitting out your window as you're driving, you're a fucking asshole. Like you don't litter and you don't spit. Come on, guy. Come on.
Live in a society.
We live in a society.
They keep making us
John?
somehow.
Yeah. I feel like you used to say that a lot more on the show. I miss it, Claudia. All right. This one I think is a genuine conundrum, though. And this is a two-hander. So FitDare7525 first wrote, if you stopped at the limit line, you wouldn't have to reverse back to the limit line to allow pedestrians to cross or a bus to turn or to make room for cross traffic. What is even the selfish function of stopping in a crosswalk? Do you think being 2 feet closer to your destination is doing anything to help you get there faster? To which Jam Crunch replies, sometimes it's to see incoming cars at the intersection because people park too close to the corner and block the view. Your stupid tall SUV should be parked at least 25 feet from the intersection. So, what do you think? Is it the person who pulls forward into the crosswalk who's the asshole, or the SUV driver who parked too close to the corner?
Althea, do you have
a little column A, a little
distinction?
column B.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about this the other week about how tall SUVs have gotten and how damn in the way they are. I don't know that this is the exact situation they're talking about, but I'm a little bit over right on red. I don't think we need to be doing that. People are getting too aggressive with it. The rationale for it in the 70s no longer holds. It doesn't actually save anybody gas based on how fuel efficient our cars are now.
Is that really where it came from?
Yeah, that's where it came from. It was like an eco thing.
Jimmy Carter.
Like,
I'm just going to assume it was him.
Yeah.
He's like, wear a sweater, turn right on a red.
Yeah. But it is humiliating if you're the driver that pulled too far forward. Or if you can't pull back and you're like, I'm in it and I am shamed and I'm waving and I'm saying I'm sorry.
I think we've all done it, right? Where you've accidentally just gone a little too far because like you weren't fully paying attention and then you're just like, I am so sorry, you know?
I wish I was dead, I'm sorry.
Or you think you're gonna make a right, it doesn't work out for you, and now you're like half in and half out, and you're just like, I'm sorry. You know, I've definitely been the person who's pulled back, you know, to allow people to come through. But I've also been also the person who's trying to walk through and just being like, all right, asshole, I guess I'm walking through your car like it's a Mentos commercial, you know?
Yeah. I think the proper answer is the asshole is whoever is in the mode of transit that I'm not. So if I'm walking, the car is the asshole. If I'm driving, the SUV is the asshole. That is.
I think we solved it.
We solved it.
Easy.
Yeah.
Everyone is the asshole.
Quantum asshole theory. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for playing along. I think we've made the society just a little bit more civil with this discussion.
I agree. I think actually we should name this new segment, We Live in a Society.
There we go. There's
John,
the
you like it?
That's good.
I love it. Can't wait. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, we actually wanted to share some pretty awful and devastating news for us personally. One of our frequent guests and just a fantastic reporter, Zane Sparling, passed away. We'll link to the really just beautiful and touching write-up that Mike Rogaway put together for the Oregonian. But I know, John, he was a friend of yours.
Yeah. Zane was a personal friend in addition to being a colleague. He was a course reporter at the Oregonian and just such a buoyant, life-filled, funny, clever person who just brought so much color into everything that he did. Claudia, I actually pulled a clip of the very first moment that the two of you shared on the show. Okay. If you want to hear it. So for context of what's going on in this clip, I'd had him on the show when I hosted at one point when you were out of town, but this is your first moment on the show with Zane.
Welcome, everyone, to the Friday News Roundup. Zane, John, thanks for being here.
Hey.
Guys, it's been a mere 104 days since I've last been on CityCast. I know.
You counted?
I counted. Your audience has been emailing every day.
Oh, wow.
Where's Zane?
Around the 100-day mark, we really started to feel it. Yeah.
It's so great to see both of you, John and Claudia.
Yeah.
Aw. I remember that became a running joke. Every time he would go on, one of us would count and go, it's been, 258 days, but here's Zane. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just a delightful person. Died at 33, way too young. So much love to his partner, Suzette, his parents, Harriet and Michael, all of his colleagues at the Oregonian, everybody who followed his reporting. And yeah, fuck cancer.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that, John. We'll link to the charities that his family is suggesting that we donate to if we at all want to pay our respects. Much love again to his family. And Zane, we fucking love you. That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this show, share it with a friend, rate it, leave us a good review. You can also support the show and get some great perks by becoming a CityCast Portland neighbor. Just visit membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.